Welcome to the Mental Health Janitors, where we help you clean up the mess in your head. I'm Casey, and I'm the producer of the Mental Health Janitors. Today, we're going to take a look back at the last year, as well as some of the things that didn't quite go exactly as planned.
I'm your host, Sergeant Q, and with me, as always, Doc Jess.
Welcome. Thanks for being here. Where do we go from here?
Let's try that again. Since the podcast began, we've produced 68 episodes. It's a labor of love. Sergeant Q and Doc Jess have tackled many topics in the mental health field, providing many tools, tips, and tricks to help you on your mental health journey. Who can forget episode 55, where Sergeant Q introduced us to giraffe fights?
All mammals, with the exception of manatees and sloths, have the same number of vertebrae in their necks. In the case of the giraffe, those few bones go a long way. Now that's stretching it.
Have you seen giraffes fight?
No. I hate watching animals fight.
Gosh. So they've got these kind of, they're not really like horns, but they're like these, not spikes, but
you're giving him an idea for another blind react.
They've got horns that come out of their head like this, right? And they're not very long. But what they do is they've got this big, long, like 15-foot long neck. And they'll stand here side to side like this, and they'll take their head and they'll swing it like this. And then they'll come back, whack. That's what they do. Whack. And then the next one goes, whack.
This is gonna be a great short, Casey. He's just teeing you up.
Watch it, giraffe fights. It's crazy. Casey, you got to put a clip.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
In episode 39 and 52, we got to learn more about the hosts of the Mental Health Janitors.
And it's like, let's get something to eat. I didn't have anywhere to go or any place to go. I'm living in my car. And we went and got something to eat. And it's amazing what a nap and a snack will do for your mental clarity. Mm. And so I remember that night sitting there thinking like, what in the heck? I've never had that experience before. I don't know where it came from or what to do. I need to figure this out. So I really began to take control of my mental health journey and started reading all these journals and medical studies about the brain and PTSD and how it operates. A few days later, I got invited to go to church. I was like, nah, it's not for me. No thanks. I don't want to do that. But I decided to go. And they gave me the address. And this is before GPS was like widely used. Mm-hmm. Right? This is 15 years ago. So before GPS was like on everybody's phone. Like some people had the old TomTom, right?
Yeah,
but I had the old Thomas Guide, which is a big book of maps, right? Like I'm a pirate floating around, trying to find my way.
Arr, matey.
So I'm driving to the address that he gave. Mm-hmm. And as I'm driving in, things start to feel oddly familiar. And I remember I looked to the right and I could see that same parking lot that I was in a few days before. And so I made that right turn. I drove in, and that was New Life Church of Renton. And it's before it was the mega church that it is now. Pastor Troy Jones had just taken over from Pastor Ross, and they were meeting in a school building in the gymnasium. And the playground belonged to that private school, Renton Christian School. And so it was so creepy to drive back in. Like I can still see it right now, driving into that parking lot and thinking, did I actually die? And I'm living some crazy Groundhog's Day? Like where I got to live this day over and over and over again? And I remember I pulled in and I backed in and I parked and I'm looking at the building and I can see where I was parked before and I'm looking at the building and I'm watching all these people go in. And I thought, I don't know what's on the other side of those doors when I go in there. Like what? I'm so freaked out. But I went in. And it was a church service. And it was Pastor Troy talking about feeling lost and alone and with no hope. And I thought, man, this guy is reading my book. This is me. This is crazy. So he did his series. I went back for a couple of weeks. He finished his series. He gave the altar call. And I thought, okay, this is what I got to do. I just give my life to the Lord and then everything's going to be fine. How naive I was, right? So I go up there and I pray and I give my life to the Lord. But nothing changes for me. I'm still dealing with anxiety. I'm still dealing with PTSD. I don't know what to do. And so I met with one of the pastors, who is now a very good friend of mine, Pastor Lorton. He could see right through me. And so he asked me to join a small group. And I did. A small group of guys that were studying the Bible. It was Luke and CJ and True. And I just got to go to CJ's 50th birthday. And he asked me to say a few words. And so I told this story right here.
As you turn the pages of this book, I invite you to walk with me through the depths of my struggles and the heights of my healing. This journey from the battlefield of finding peace within myself is a testament to the saving grace of my Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, I would have been one of 22 veterans a day who chose to end their lives. Together, we're going to explore the dark corridors of guilt and shame and emerge into the light of hope and redemption. My story is one of transformation, of turning pain into power and trauma into growth. Join me as I share the lessons learned, the battles fought, and the strength found in the most unexpected places. Welcome to my post-traumatic growth journey. All glory to Jesus Christ.
Well, this is our 1-year anniversary episode. And man, what a banger of an episode it is. We started off really deep with you guys, but I think it's important for you guys to understand our mental health journey and for us to be transparent about where we've been and where we are now, so we can show you guys that it doesn't matter what you're experiencing in life right now, that you can recover, you can get better. It may not be like it was, but it definitely doesn't have to be like it is right now for you. You can heal, you can move forward, and you may not be able to do the things that you did before. You may have to do them a little bit different, but you can still find success and post-traumatic growth. So thank you, Jess, for sharing that with us. That was a powerful time. It definitely got me right in the feels. You got me choked up. And if I'm being completely honest, when you were talking about that, I think you guys noticed I took my hat off. I was burning up. My body felt like it was on fire. And that was the adrenaline and the cortisol that flushed right through my system. I felt super hot and just waves and waves of heat. Like I took my hat off because I was roasting in here. That's how powerful of a moment that story was for me. And I know it was for a lot of you as well. So Jess, what was it like knowing that you had to come into the studio today and you were going to share that with the world?
I'm so glad you asked. I have been quite beside myself knowing for a couple weeks I was going to have to read my chapter 1 for the podcast, for our viewers, for myself. And God is so good because he introduced to me just last week this new concept and research about how our bodies, research shows how our bodies, it's identical. Our physiological reaction is identical at the beginning of anxiety and fear versus excitement. And what we do with our cognitive brain, captivate every thought unto the Lord. Think of things that are worthy of praise and trustworthy and good, like the Bible teaches us. If you can recognize in your body the beginning of anxiety and fear and the beginning of excitement, scientific research has proven they are identical. And so what happens is successful people learn to tap into taking their thoughts captive and redirecting them.
We tackle a lot of serious subjects on the Mental Health Janitors, but we also have a lot of fun.
So everybody, what she just said was that she was the pretty one.
We're trying to adjust the lighting so we don't get this weird shadow across my eyes. And so we've got all these different lighting options. We're trying to fix it. And Jessica pipes in. She goes, "Don't worry, I'm the pretty one, not you." It's like, okay. Pride comes before the fall.
Love rejoices in
as I trip her down the stairs.
Can we totally have like a scripture off? That would be awesome.
Stop talking to him. Dang it. He's got ADHD.
Stop tossing me around.
So Jess, I know you've got a really good tool. So why don't you share what the tool is?
Yeah, well, I would like to kind of just carry on from our live. So I would love for you to as viewers to go back and watch the live, especially the tool that we shared. What tool did we share?
All right, you guys, that's it for the Mental Health Janitors. Oh, wait, what's the close?
As always, we like to encourage and empower.
Off camera. Becoming a legend, but
Sorry.
that's all right. You were ripping right in the middle of my...
It was my shoe.
I'm sure it was. He had become a legend. Are you sure? Because
I hate you.
turn a fan on, Casey.
I did not.
He had become a legend. The character, not the fart.
My face is my face so red right now?
Yes. like a cherry tomato.
It was this.
That's not what it sounded like.
It was this. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's almost like a no-brainer.
Didn't have a backhoe and no, I'm just kidding. Delete that.
Welcome to the Mental Health Janitors, where we help you
dig holes.
Talk lady who was like, don't yell out their name if they've been kidnapped. You yell out what they're wearing. Just start frantically yelling out what they're wearing and how old they are. So I'm like, all rusted. You know me, I'm hella loud. I'm like, 2-year-old girl, orange shorts, white shirt. And everybody started repeating it. And a guy on a speaker got on and we found the little girl. I'm like, yes. Like, it
Are
was.
you recording this?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thanks for joining us on this look back. We look forward to seeing you again on the next episode.
And as always, we like to do 3 things here. We like to educate, empower, and encourage you on your mental health journey. And so for the Mental Health Janitors, I'm Sergeant Q.
I'm Doc Jess, and we're out.
Your mental clock is on fire.
Yeah?
Yeah, I gave you that 3 minutes and you were within about 10 seconds of what I said.
Nailed it.